I'm liking this though, dude. I'm really liking this. It's feeling good, man. It is feeling good. It's feeling like OG. Yes, Rebirth is disabled. Does it feel like back in the day? Yes.
Take on a universal weapon ever. Who the fuck summons for a universal weapon for a barely 10% damage upgrade? Yeah, 10% at most? Yeah, obviously you would not get that because it's only a 10% damage boost. Oh, signature is 11% better than it? That's cool, bro. Who's getting Cantarella? Yeah, only 11? Great. Now, for a air quotes universal weapon, the second it's not usable on another character that comes out, we're just gonna laugh at you. Why the fuck would, like, the only character in between now and then that when you got it is Phoebe, and to be honest, it's a gross even idea to get for Phoebe because Phoebe got a free weapon. Did anybody actually get Cantarella, by the way? It's perfect on Phoebe. You get a free weapon on her. You're retarded. The idea of summoning for a universal weapon is to remove any problems that you would have due to weapon access. If you get 2 free weapons for Phoebe that are fine, why the fuck would you go for a marginal 10% upgrade?
Don't rush.
Why the fuck would you need a worse free weapon over the better universal weapon? There is a very big difference in having the weapon, you dumb fuck, versus telling someone to get it. You're telling people to get a weapon for a 10% upgrade. That's why you're dumb as fuck. 1, if you would get a weapon for a 10% upgrade over a free-to-play weapon. 2, if that sounds retarded. Second question, would you recommend it to your friend? The free-to-play player. Would you recommend that shit to your friend who doesn't have a lot of summons? Would you recommend it to the person that just started out? Are you kidding me, bro? Want to split his account? Yeah, I'm pretty sure just having GN in general is insanely better than a marginal 10% damage upgrade on a character you don't really use very often, like Cantarella. Or a marginal 10% damage upgrade on Peeps versus a free-to-play option. I'm pretty sure it's miles better to just have a GN. Like, in what universe would you tell someone that that's a good idea? New character versus 10% upgrades, not even close. Of course a character better? That's why you're retarded!
Ew, gross.
You don't recommend something to someone else if there's a better option. I literally said that? No, you didn't. I said recommending. What I said was recommending the string list to another person. Oh, sorry, the string master to another person is a dumbass idea. Did 2 times to get this weapon, the selector is a scam because the weapon's guaranteed. Then why are you doubling down, tripling down, and defending it? Jesus Christ. Niku, you gotta do better, man. You're defending, you're fighting air, bro, to be right. You're fighting a fucking fictional enemy to be right. My Stringer Master argument was no, the String Master argument was defending your pull for the String Master. It wasn't regarding the String Master being a good acquisition. It was regarding your personal choices to getting it. It had literally nothing to do with the weapon at all. It had everything to do with you defending your own choices. That's why I said recommending the String Master to another person as a universal weapon is retarded. And then you came out swinging, talking about why it was a good decision, which was an entire conversation you didn't even need to have, just being massively argumentative for no reason. There is a very big difference in having the weapon because you have Yinlin and stop playing Yinlin versus summoning or acquiring the weapon outright. Massive difference. Your pull was not related to the free selector? Then you need to shut up when it's not about you. Like, this is why you're retarded and we called you retarded. If it ain't about you, don't make it about you. Weird guy? Yeah, that's how we felt. You said String Master is not a universal weapon. I said it is. That is not what I said. Not on the selector? Bro. The conversation started around the fucking selector, you retard. What is wrong with you? Shut up. You go back to the VOD? Please do. Because we started the conversation regarding the selector, and then you said, by the way, you said it not universal. That's not what I was talking about. The entire context of the argument was around acquiring the weapon. The entire
Get to
argument
work.
around acquiring
Access
the universal
denied.
weapon is retarded.
Let's run. Locked on.
So you made it about you, and then doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down afterward. You're trying to be right in a unique set of circumstances versus the context of the argument, and it's annoying. Just, yeah, bro, just take the L. The funniest thing is not knowing whether this leak is true. Exactly, right? If you want to summon for a universal weapon, have at it, bro. Tell me when it's not universal anymore. There's never been a game ever where they came out with a weapon that was a universal weapon and wasn't universal anymore after less than a year. That's never happened, right? That's never happened, right? Bro, how many weapons have they come out with that were universal or no longer universal? The Staff of Homa is one of the least universal weapons because it's the only reason it was universal at all is because it was the only option.
Open fire.
Do you guys know?
Open fire.
If you look at the Staff of Homa,
Bullseye.
compare the Staff of Homa to the Escoffier weapon
Closing in.
field DPS that uses the attack main stat, the Escoffier weapon is only this much worse than the Staff of Homa. Character like Zhao. I think the difference is like less than 3%.
Here, up and away.
It's probably less than 3. Like who? Like if you look at all the characters in the game, it's crazy how low the difference is. Black Pro Max Master? Yeah. Is there another spear healer? There's not. Wait, is the second part of the weapon based upon healing, or is just the first part? Bro, actually, I'm pretty sure that the Escoffier weapon is the same DPS as the Staff of Homa for Emily. I bet you it's exactly the same. I think the Staff of Homa might be like a hair ahead in certain situations. So if you have 20,000 HP on Emily, right? How much does she have right now? Is it 16 or 20? 21. All right. Based on Emily's HP at 21963, okay, with Staff of Homa, times 0.8. 175% attack. Oh, sorry, 1.75% attack.
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
Oh, sorry, 17%. My bad. Stupid. 21869. 17.5 or 175 total attack. If we do that versus the base attack of the character, which is 943, divided by 943, that's 18%, 18.5% attack. The signature weapon for Escoffier provides 24% attack when the character's off field and 12% on field. I'm pretty sure that for Emily specifically, the new weapon is either the same or better than Staff of Homa. And it only involves the 24% attack passive, not even the extra 32% that you would get later from the healing. Ah, yes. Universal weapons at their best here. Doing so well. How much is the Emily weapon? Emily's weapon is 15% attack.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
Is the weapon 60866? Yeah. Universal doesn't mean always universal, right? The weird thing about universal weapons is a lot of people misread universal
Ad
weapons.
Astra
A universal
Abyssosk.
weapon is a
Welcome
weapon that
to
the
the
main stat
Adventurers
and
Guild.
passive are fully optimized. For example, if we look at a weapon like the Calamity Queller, a character like Emily is able to fully optimize the main stat and the passive of the weapon as a good weapon to transfer over to her. So if we look at the not the Emily weapon, but the Calamity Queller. The Calamity Queller is technically more universal than the Lumidosi Elegy or the Staff of Homa or the other weapons if for off-field DPS characters. For any person that's going to be an elemental burst or elemental skill character that's off-field, that does ticks, then the Calamity Queller would be the better weapon, as long as they're attack-based. The problem is it's not a crit weapon. Okay, so it's more optimized by a character that is fully off-field. So a weapon like the Mist Splitter is a universal weapon because the weapon can be fully maximized by a character that is not the main character of the weapon. So for example, Kaya can fully optimize a weapon from the Mist Splitter. You can fully stack everything and snapshot the entire thing. Right, so that's a universal weapon. A Jade Cutter would also be a universal weapon because any character cannot fully optimize it. The Staff of Homa would also be. But the problem is the Staff of Homa's passive sucks ass. Okay? Or you would only be able to optimize half of it, not the whole thing, right? Whereas the Jade Cutter, you optimize the whole thing. Because the Jade Cutter is based upon HP regardless of HP. Sorry, it's based upon HP regardless of current HP. My second Hogel's usable now? You can use it on the other character, yeah. The concept of a universal weapon is you can utilize the main stat and the passive for fully, not partially. Okay? So an Engulfing Lightning is a universal weapon because all you have to do to trigger the Engulfing Lightning is press the burst. So any character that uses attack and energy recharge can universally use this weapon. Okay? Any character that uses attack and percentage damage can fully use this weapon as well. So the Calamity Queller is a much more universal weapon for off-field characters. Okay? So this weapon will also be very, very strong for Escoffier. The weird thing about this weapon is to compare this weapon to a signature weapon. I bet you there's only like 5
Laid bare.
depending on how much work you have.
Inferior.
Larger the damage.
Weak.
Solidify!
Right now.
That dimension's like
Emerge.
universal weapons
Right
for
here.
No.
The eye sweeps the land.
An impact versus weather and edge is very different. Yeah, weapons can be weapons in effect.
Overruled. Inferior.
Weapons rated at, like,
Only
let's just say, a 7 out of 10. If a weapon is a partially optimized 5-star weapon or a fully optimized 4-star weapon, they're an 8 out of 10. If the weapon is more than 70 optimized 5-star weapon, like, and it has a couple layers of passives being activated at different times, it's a 9 out of 10. And finally, the signature weapon for the character is a 10 out of 10. So the thing is, because there are so many weapons that can be rated at an 8 out of 10 for so many characters, the concept of universal weapons in Genshin is kind of gone now. Okay, because there's so many 4-star options that can be rated at that level. For example, the difference between a Widzith and a Lost Prayer is pretty small for Veressa, right? The difference is in consistency and annoyance that you'll see, but overall DPS can be higher on Widzith on the shorter fight, and overall DPS can be lower on a Widzith if you're not able to proc the correct passive. Sophia weapon calculations on which team? Oh, Calamity came out with a 10% difference? Sure. Max 5 stacks average? Sure. Sounds right. Depends on the CV value of the character on your Golden. Ayaka, Shenhe, Scofier, Golden Troop. Shenhe's throwing a bid mix into there. There's a they use Shenhe because, and that's going to cause a bigger issue. So with this calculation, Pepe, Shenhe is causing a weight to the R1 signature versus the, this is the calc. Shenhe causes a weight toward signature versus the weight toward Calamity. So Calamity is all attack, whereas like the signature and Shenhe have like a split thing here. So if you remove Shenhe from that equation, it would be a different answer. This would be wildly different. Deathmatch R5 is at 108 with one enemy. Wait, why the fuck would you assume one enemy? When you leave the field, it's always one. Wait. It's 0. Oh, okay, so they're doing it at 48%. Oh, yeah, they're doing it at 48%. Can I ask a not related question? You can try. So this is a partial weapon calculation, not a full one. Is there more? There we go. Nebulit, Farina, Scofier. Lolly. That's a better one. Yeah. The Scofier one with Nebulit's much better to look at. The Shenhe variation's a little worse. Yeah, so that one's like, what? 6.3% difference according to this one. So probably 5% or so, like if we take it to the weight. They put a weighting at R1 deathmatch. This is why I don't like when theory crafters do this shit. They do a weighting in the middle, and now I don't know what the variance is between these two things because I have to do a calculation here, right? So they're saying that it's 16618, right? Divided by 15640. The difference is 6.25. So good enough, right? Good enough. 6.25% difference. Would you get another weapon? Would you get Calamity as a signature weapon? If you have Calamity, can you use it on Scofier? Absolutely. I need advice. I got Veressa, C5 Eonson, C5 Chevy, C5 Gaming. But as far as weapon calculations go, this is also incorrect if you don't use Sijuan. Where's the Sijuan? They didn't even do a Sijuan. They literally disregarded a Sijuan. That's annoying. Also, it might be better to use an Elemental Cup with a Calamity Queller because you might have too much attack. Unclear. Images go triple cryo, double cryo, then solo cryo.
I'd be honored to accept your invitation.
Your take is bad, Pepe. That's not what they're measuring. The assumption is not based on the number of cryo characters in the composition. The assumption changes a lot because Shenhe is in the composition. Adding Shenhe adds a different layer. Adding a different element character can change a lot more things, and ER requirements will change dramatically. They also have a 120 ER requirement in the first one, but a 150 in the second one. The 2 Hydro team can also involve Ayaka and not Nebula. So it doesn't measure that exactly. They also put in Hu Tao, Furina, and Escoffier. I'm gonna be honest. Why the fuck is Escoffier there? You're gonna miss so many fucking melts. He said an image, not a take. No, his take on what the images represented was his take. That's not what it is. It's not based on the elements. It's a team composition involving characters that the creator wanted to talk about. Okay? So, for example,
The pale flame smolders!
One team involved the Pyro character with Hu Tao. It isn't solo Hydro or solo Cryo. It's a Hu Tao team. So that's not exactly what it doesn't even represent what the images were talking about. So that's why I said it was a bad take.
Tremble and submit, mortal!
Dumpy Dumpy go!
My Calamity eating good since Seka pulled it for me by losing my 50-50 on this splitter. It's pretty funny. But were you summoning for that weapon specifically as a universal weapon or going for something else, right? Summoning for universal weapons is weird. Getting it as a copium option because you got fucked over is fine. You don't go for you don't specifically go for universal weapons. Unless it's Mavuika's weapon. Because you're getting it from Mavuika anyway, so fuck. I don't use C3 Ride, so I'll give engulfing to Effie. I think it's smart. I would use the calculation on the second calculation is probably the more apropos calculation. I wouldn't even look at the rest of them. They seem very wildly different to what you do. R1 engulfing is around the same as R5 deathmatch. I can agree with that. Context. Because it's a fully optimized 4-star weapon versus an ER attack weapon with the overinflation on the ER, and the other one has an underinflation on the ER, so sure. But to think that Escoffier has a 150 ER requirement is kind of laughable. Have a great time. Because she has 4 particles, right? And good luck. 150 ER and a 60 cost off-field character. Good fucking luck. I wish you the best of luck. Best of luck, sir. I hope it works out. Hope the fabs work out. Hope everything there. Yeah, have a great time fabsing it up, I guess. Best of luck. Hey, chat. What's Emily's ER requirement? It's 160 with a Fabj on the team, right? Good luck. Bye. See ya. Yeah, 160 with the Fabj on the team. Or 140 with the signature.
Neutralize!
And that's on dual Dendro. On single Dendro, it's impossible.
You dare overstep your mortal authority?
I think Cadence is the only dual Dendro, though. I just rolled an artifact with 17 crit rate, 12 crit damage, and it's the flower, but I'm happy.
You're
Typically, all the high
trembling.
CD pieces are blue flower. About 8 out of 10 are blue flower. It's really rare to get Sands or Goblet or Headpiece with high CV. Hey, Sika! Yo. Okay, we're gonna put a lot of testing with this over here. Can we go up? What did the go? Emily energy recharge requirement. I'm Googling it. What'd they say? They said on here, single Dendro with signature weapon 140, dual Dendro 146.2 energy and recharge with signature 111. I'm gonna be honest, 111 with signature on 2 Dendro?
My condolences.
You having a laugh, mate?
This'll brighten up the place.
You having a laugh? 111?
Tremble and submit, mortal!
What do I have? Bro, I have 150 with signature.
There is no atonement for 1,000-year pain!
My mistake.
Yeah, we some crazy ass arts. Damn, my Emily's nuts. What the fuck? God damn, this Emily's fucking cracked. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, she's cracked. What is this thing? Holy shit. I forgot this existed on the whale account. God damn, is she cracked. $27 CV, 24 ER? Is that 27 or 28? It's no. It's 28 CV, right? No. That's 24. Sorry, no, I got it wrong. I did this backwards. No, it's 25. Yeah, 25% CV and 24 ER. Does anyone have anything comparable to this on their whole account? That thing's insane. $25 CV, 24 ER is wild. That's crazy. On set too. IO rolls. You have set. You have a piece like this on set. You have an on-set cup with like this. That's crazy, man. Look, that's one of the craziest pieces I've seen.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah, 24 ER on a 27 CV piece or 25 CV piece is wild. Jesus. Yeah, my Emily seems kind of stacked. Huh. How much EM should Sucrose have?
Tremble and submit, mortal!
900 to 1,000, depending on how much ER
You
you have.
stand
Exact
upon
price.
your tomb, though you know it not!
Typically. Like, if you're gonna be bursting, you need like 180, 200% ER. If you're not bursting, you just go all EM. It depends on like which Sucrose team. Like if you're running Sucrose on Movica, you don't need any ER, you just need all EM. That's it.
You're trembling.
Which characters deserve to have crafted artifacts with elixirs the most? DPS characters that need onset goblets. You always craft an artifact for the sanctifying elixir for a DPS character that needs an onset
Oh
goblet.
man,
That's
I'm
the
not on the
primary.
ball today.
And it's on a domain that you're no longer farming. That's how you should use every sanctifying elixir. A DPS goblet primarily for whatever character that you're going to be playing. Okay. Could be a sub DPS character, could be a main, but it usually should be used for an onside goblet. The other option is a Sands for ER Sands or EM Sands for the highest thing for characters that need ER or EM Sands. The less good options are Attack Sands or HP Sands or a Plume and Flower. The worst option is a headpiece. The only time a headpiece is a top tier option is if it's an EM CV headpiece. So EM main stat with CV substats, and that's the requirement. But there isn't really a character that needs that besides Sitlali. The only other character I think of is Cosmo, but it's kind of whack right now. So craft the Skirk goblet now? Why would you craft a goblet for Skirk now? What I would recommend is waiting till Skirk is closer, because you will be able to acquire more elixir by that point anyways. And once you see the full stat window for what Skirk is available, then you'll basically want to make sure that you've already, after farming the domain for 2 whole patches, 5.5 and all of 5.6, right before 5.6 starts, you can then craft the piece that you need. It can be a goblet, Sands, Plume, not a headpiece. Okay, do the goblet at the very end for Skirk.
I lose. You clearly have the edge over me here.
We don't know if Skirk's scaling yet. Skirk's gonna be a crit character. We don't know if she uses crit damage and HP or crit damage and attack, and she doesn't need any crit rate. But here's the thing about Skirk. What if Skirk is 100% crit rate at
This
C1?
game is something of a hobby of mine. Please, take a seat.
What if Skirk is a 100% crit rate character at Constellation 1? A character that needs no energy recharge, but has 100% crit rate at C1. With crit damage Ascension.
You're
Character like Sophia or Karina
trembling.
on the team. Okay. What if that's the case? How would that be possible? Well, let's just say the character receives 80% crit rate after pressing the elemental skill at C1. Let's just say that happens, right? It gives 80% free crit rate. If that was the case, and Skirk's crit rate would boost by 80% or something like that, just something ridiculous, right?
The pale flame smolders.
Would that be a great character? Well, then you would only need crit damage and attack for the character. It wouldn't be ridiculously OP because it would, if a character like Skirk just needed crit damage and attack with similar stat scalings to Mavwika, it would still be weaker than Mavwika. Even with 100% crit rate, it would still be weaker than Mavwika with a 80% crit rate passive.
You dare overstep your mortal
Because you can't
authority?
help it, right? So, if you were able to get 100% crit rate, you would have to be auto-attacking on the character with a minimum of 100,000
Will
damage.
not
Right?
absolve
For a
you!
C1 R1 character, the minimum attack damage that you can deal is 100,000 at C1 R1. If you're not even doing that on guaranteed crits, the DPS of the character is like phenomenally low. So if she's doing about 150k auto attack strings and burst nuking for like 300k or 400k, she might be okay. The problem is with designing a character like that for doing 150k autos, it's only going to be achievable at that level at C1R1. And if you compare that DPS to Nebulit, if you're doing 150k autos at the same attack frequency as Farina, oh, sorry, not Farina, Arlecchino, it's barely better than Nebulit. The difference is all going to be in the sub DPS of the team, and the sub DPS of the team will then boost the team to a Mavwika level DPS team. So, in order for Skirk to
Time
be
for
OP as fuck,
reshuffle.
if that situation was, happening,
This'll brighten up the place.
you would need to have C1 R1 Skirk with a C0 Scopier or C0 R1 Scopier. Probably a C0 R1 Escoffier. There's probably a big reason Escoffier boosts attack because it's boosts Skirk, it boosts attack based. One agree to disagree that Skirk is attack based because Escoffier boosts attack. Pretty obvious. The second we knew that Escoffier's weapon boosted attack, it's pretty obvious that Skirk is attack. Actually, I mean, like Escoffier's designed to work with Skirk, so.
Oh.
Yeah, C2, so the weapon then, based on that, will be very similar to Varessa's weapon, where it's going to be a 674 weapon with either crit rate or crit damage. It's going to boost attack, but also boost normal attack crit damage. So it'll be and burst crit damage.
The
So
pale flame
that'll be
smolders.
the weapon for Skirk. It'll be something similar to this. It'll be a hyper-specialized normal attack crit damage weapon. Now,
Tremble and
my
submit,
assumption
mortal.
is that the weapon is going to have like 28% attack or whatever, or just some flat amount of attack that you can use. And the passive ability is going to be locked around the character not having energy. So it'll work as a semi-universal weapon, but there'll be better options, right? And the weapon will be hyper-specialized to the character. Very similar to the way Clarind's weapon is like specialized to just Clarind, and is only marginally better than the existing options, right? Because if you look at Clarind's weapon, it's literally the same thing as, you know, the Mist Splitter. It just adds on 14% elemental damage and 20 CV. It's a really small difference, right? So you have to have a bigger difference between the weapon and the Mist Splitter. So my assumption is that the Mist Splitter will be 15% weaker or so than the Signature.
Dust!
Why? Because the Signature weapon has to
The
really
doctor
shine
will
to
see
sell.
you now.
So it's probably going to be C1 over R1 on the character because most people have Mist Splitter. So she'll be attack based. You'll use Mist Splitter.
Today,
You'll get the
you
C1 over the
witness
R1.
your reckoning!
Give them
I
an
don't
inch
think we
and
need
they'll
a
take a
goblet because
mile.
Farina can go attack goblet. What? Would love a new element. Bro, we know Skirk is fucking cryo. Stop being weird. Come on. Who else is this for? It's not for Escoffier. It looks like it's for Skirk. Come on. It ate that down. It's so obvious. Black Sword mid is fine. Okay. Here's the problem. If Skirk, right? If Skirk is a normal attack character, the Haran is a great
Will
weapon
not
for
absolve you!
problem. Okay. Now here's the problem with Skirk. You don't want this weapon to be good on Skirk. You want this weapon to be good on Skirk. So how do you do that? You get rid of the usefulness of this weapon by removing the need for crit rate. That's what they did for Clarind, right? So what do I think? Skirk's gonna get free crit passives. Why? Because if you use the Haran on Clarind, it would be great. Why can't you use it? Because you'll get way too much crit rate that's not really possible to use because you get a free 20% crit rate from her passive or whatever it is. I don't fucking know. Is this one? Yeah.
Taking a turn for the better.
That's not what I think. Which one's the crit rate passive? Yeah, 20% crit rate from this passive. Along with the crit rate ascension stat. So that means you get a ridiculous amount of crit from the character from crit rate and crit rate ascension. So in order to not have to do that anymore in passives and just use damage in passives, you could literally just give the character 100% crit rate at C1 for free. How could you do that? It could be an 80% crit rate passive. Could be a 40% crit rate passive. Doesn't fucking matter. Why are we theory crafting 2-3 months in advance? Because people want to know exactly what you can do
Today,
in general.
you
Watch her use a
witness
bow.
your reckoning!
In lore, as in the story, said my sword. The words my sword. As in, she has a sword. There's also a leak regarding the splash art of the character using a sword. So the only two options for swords that exist in the game are swords and claymores, which are great swords. So Skirk could be a claymore character. Okay? So that's the other option.
You win.
In
I
order
should have
to
thought twice
not
before
have
playing
a
that
universal
card.
option, Skirk could utilize the 1,000 Brilliant Blading Sun. It could use Mavwika's weapon, and they could run the Mavwika weapon at the same time. Okay, would that be a hilarious banner? I think it would be. It would sell more. So if
Sure. I'll
Raiden
do
has a
my
sword?
best.
Sure, whatever, sure. You think you're gonna do another one? Tartaglia as a swordsman? Sure. You think you're gonna do another one though? Let's be real. One, if you think Skirt's probably gonna use a sword or a claymore. Two, if they're gonna do some really weird nuanced stuff to make it a sword or claymore.
You're trembling.
I think it's a 90% chance that she's a sword or claymore. 90%. You know why? Because that's the probability of what actual characters have when it comes to weapons in the game, and 90% of them don't involve this nuance. Okay? Two-hand Why Mavwika. You could hold a claymore in one hand. You could be a badass. I don't know. Maybe she's so strong she holds a claymore in one hand. She could be Zanny. Who fucking cares?
The pale flame smolders.
You think she has a polearm that shrinks into a sword and they have a second character that utilizes it? Great. Let's just say that happens. I'm gonna go with sword because it's probably the easiest possible option for Claymore. Claymore is a more logical option for finances. Why? Because if you put make Skirk a Claymore character and have her as a Cryo Claymore, the options become far more limited, and people then summon for the Mavwika weapon alongside the Skirk weapon. And they'd be okay getting the Mavwika weapon or okay getting the Skirk weapon. Okay? If they already have one of them, they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to summon for it, but that's fine. Because the people that said, I don't want to summon for it, will summon for it anyways and just take the R2L on the Mavwika banner, right? Because it's a universal weapon, right? I could just use it on another character. Do I refine it or do I not refine it? I guess it's okay to get two. They'll sell themselves up.
You
It's fine.
dare overstep your
So
mortal
Claymore,
authority!
a much better option financially. Sword, different option. More likely. What if she starts targeting this master and she's really like him? So you're saying that she's gonna basically be a bow character and turn a bow into dual blades, which they haven't done in literally 4.5 years? Sure. Let's go with a bow theoretical, right? You know what you could use? A Thundering Pulse. Well, that's not gonna sell. I already have Thundering Pulse. Well, that's not gonna sell. I already got Aqua. Well, that's not gonna sell. I already got fucking Chaska's bow or Linny's bow. Right? You have Chaska's bow. You're like, oh, it's fine. Think about triple cryo with a Linny bow. Bow and pick? Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, the most likely option to sell a weapon would be a Claymore. The most likely option, due to what people said in the story, is an actual sword. The way that you make it so that that people won't be able to utilize air quotes universal weapons and buy your weapon is to give the character a gimmick that makes it so that that weapon is not a good option in some nuanced way, like Clarin or the Haran. Even this thing is pretty old, she will use a sword, only swords in her concept art. Cool. K-bot spotted. Where? The stock market looking great, so I can make sure you go buy. Oh, is it low as fuck right now?
Watch out!
I haven't looked on it in like a while. Yeah. I like my mom bought like a while ago. I might have just lost a bunch of money. We'll see. I'm a little up this year. Not much. I'm only up by like 2 Gs. No, less than that. Yeah, I'm only up by like $1,000 this year. I was up by like 10 G's like earlier this year before Trump did this the other stuff, and then now I'm down. Now I'm like a little ahead. So it'll probably end with a little bit higher. I'm not trying to buy though. This low as fuck. Well, like those are my stocks. I don't know what like I don't know. Our stocks went crazy. Yeah, they went crazy for a little bit. But I'm overall really high up. Yeah, in the last 2 years, I'm like 50% up. So that's pretty good.
You're trembling.
Damn it, Trump. I mean, he raised it as much as he lowered it, so it's fine. It's not a big deal.
The pale flame
Like
smolders.
him in the stock market, he raised the stock market just as much as he lowered the stock market, so it's fine, whatever. The last 4 months have been wild. Should have sold a few months back before the tariffs hit, right? And then you could have bought.
Tremble and submit, mortal.
I'm not a day trader, so I'm about that way. These are just like a retirement fund and stuff. It'll be a big deal once all the tariffs hit. America imports so much. America imports and exports a lot, so I have no idea. Yeah. He wiped 2 trillion in a day. I don't know what that means. Like, you talking about of the debt or like of the stock market? Stock market? Cool. What I saw, because I was just looking at the metric for since he became president, he made me as much money as he lost me. So basically he's a net zero for the stock market. Cool. That's all I gotta say. He's a little volatile, but he's a net zero for the stock market, so it's fine. But if I was on it more and selling high,
You
buying low,
stand
like,
upon your tomb, though you know it not.
he did 0 policies to raise it.
It's all going wrong.
I'm just telling you what happened.
Here
I'm
comes the
reporting.
card.
It's not about what he's been doing for the stock
Nothing
market. I'm
lasts
just reporting
forever.
at what happened. Okay, you could have a take that he fucked you over and lost you a bunch of money. You could have a take that it's a net zero. Like, my take is it's net zero. I don't fucking care. I'll find out at the end of the year. It's a retirement fund. It's not a fucking... I'm not a day trader. Check if the codes work.
There is no atonement for 1,000-year pain.
Like, what game? Tartaglia calls Skirk a swordsman in his bio. Oh, in Genshin? All right, I'll try it.
Guess I screwed up again. But I don't understand. Where did I go wrong?
That's annoying. That's annoying. That's annoying.
This time I'm gonna win.
There we go. Still works, thanks. I don't know if it works. Let's see. What are they? I already got that one. Oh, this is the 30 Primo one? The last one?
You dare overstep your mortal authority?
What are the other two? Are they Mora codes or what are they? Hey, Sek, I'm so freaking tired. What'd you do? One the Primos, the other one's Mora. I'll just the Primo one. Money, Mora, and a few Primos. Baby's here, 6-day-old. Oh yeah, for sure. For fucking sure, bro. Hey, you want to hear something sad, Z Monday? You want me to freak you out, or you want me to be? You want me to freak you out, or do you want me to make you feel better? Pick right now. You want me to freak you out or make you feel better?
Let her rip!
I already got it back. You want assurance or freak you out? Pick one.
The enraged Earth will not absolve you!
Freak me out. It gets so much worse. You think it's bad now? It gets so much worse. You think you tired now? No, you don't know what tired is. You figuring out what it's like to be okay being tired. Okay?
Shazam!
You get to a point where you're gonna be so tired that you forgot that you were tired because you accidentally put your phone in the refrigerator while you're getting waffles for your wife. And you couldn't find it for 3 days. Okay? Yeah, you become so absent-minded that you make it a peanut butter jelly sandwich and you using a spoon because you forgot to do the dishes because you forgot to press start in the dishwasher after fully loading it and standing in front of it for 5 minutes. Okay? You don't know how tired you are yet. You will be so tired later that the compounding level of tired that you will reach will get you to a new
I'm no
zenith
match
level
for
of
you.
tired. And you won't even realize how badly it hits you until years later when you finally realize
Right
that the
now.
sleep deprivation after having a baby will hit and you'll be like,
You're
"Fuck
trembling."
me, I remember when I was able to think clearly. Damn, it's been so long." And when you finally, after the baby turns 2 years old, and you go back to the gym on a regular basis, and you're actually taking care of your body in a normative fashion while getting sleep at a normal
The
rate,
pale flame
that you're like,
smolders.
I feel really good now. Like, what's been, like, so that's why people go on a health kick, is because they have a baby. And they don't even realize, like, how bad their health gets when you have a baby. Jello made an Effie pre-release. He says 2 weeks old kid. Jello as a kid? I had no idea. What did Jello say about this Effie? That she's goated? Are you playing getting Shalona in an account? I have Shalona on BP Welkin, which we're on right now. So yeah, I ended up having the weirdest luck ever on the Battle Pass Welkin account. I ended up getting an R2 version of the Cloud Retainer weapon. And I haven't refined it yet, but I probably will later. Or wait. Oh, it's on another character, right? Is it on you? No, who's it on? It is on Charlotte right now. Yeah, I ended up getting R2 weapon on Scrofier, and not Scrofier.
Your soul will be
Lavender weapon?
incinerated.
And then I ended up getting the Varessa weapon, which was like sick. But then I summoned all the way to Pity, and I ended up with only a C2 Eonson, which really sucked. But I'm like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. So now I'm on a guarantee on the Battle Pass Welkin account, and I literally cannot summon anymore on any banner for the next
Coming at you!
35 days or so, right? Or 34 days, 33 days. Right, since I can't summon for 33 days, and we got a couple more stuff, a couple more things happening for that. That means on the Battle Pass Welcome account, I can either get C1, R1 on Varessa, which I didn't really like on the Whale account. I didn't like C1. C2 was great, but I didn't like C1, so I'm going to stop at C0, R1. And now I can go for a Scoffier on BP Welkin, which is really odd. I wasn't expecting to be able to do that. And Scoffier doesn't require a weapon. She can use Deathmatch as well. So I'm fine with that. And that also means because I literally have to do 1 10-pull for a Scoffier, I will be able to get Skirk on the Battle Pass Welkin account. And if I lose the 50-50 on Skirk, I have a guaranteed of Weka right afterward. So I've lost 2 50-50s already. So even if I lose the 50-50 on Skirk, I'm guaranteed Mavweka after that. So as long as Mavweka and Skirk are not on the same banner, I'm golden. But if Mavweka and Skirk are on the same banner, I might be a little bit tight on summons. Okay, now when it comes to Shalonen, because that situation is possible on the Battle Pass Welcome account, I'm ending up kind of like, oh, I kind of want to go for Shalonen on the free-to-play account because of what happened with summons there. So now, like, I went from I'm going for Skirk on the free-to-play account to now I'm skipping Skirk on free-to-play account and going for something else. Like, I completely shifted gears because of the summons that happened. Like, my initial plan has been thrown through such a loop that I'm not even going for the same shit I was. And another thing that I wasn't expecting is Furina to be really bad with Varessa. I really wasn't expecting that. You know what I haven't tried since we got Varessa's weapon is the Shalonen Furina composition. I haven't done it for AoE yet, but let's go try it.
The enraged earth
How is
will
it
not
insane?
absolve you!
So I haven't tried this since I got the weapon.
But... Aww.
Okay, C0 Furina. C2
I'm always
Eon Fur-
watching.
C0 Shalonen. No signature weapon on Shalonen. Just fab. And just a signature weapon on Varessa. One if this is mid as fuck, 2 if it'll be great.
Today, you witness your reckoning!
Aw, I knew I should have played it safe. I just really wanted to win.
right here.
Bow your head.
Right now, right here.
This is order. Gather. Settle down.
The doctor will see you now.
Took too long. I took too long.
Stabilize.
Emerge, right now. Emerge.
Bow your head. Mind the side effects.
Right here. Emerge, right here.
Silence. A bitter pill.
It's the same as that. Right? One agree to disagree. It's the same as that. There's not really any difference. Like the better version's the Shallonen and Cloud one for the bigger numbers, but it's pretty much the same as that. Your face is Furina's mid? It kinda is.
Solidify.
Right now, right here. Emerge.
Getting it.
Right now. Emerge.
It just feels like Furina's
Gather.
we have enough
Bow your head.
close to this.
The doctor will see
Yeah, I wouldn't
you
really
now.
say that it's like significantly better. Theoretically, this is better, but in practice, you're introducing a bunch of PR rotation versus having the same DPS as with a Kazuha Shallonen. That's really not that great. Like, if you can remove ER issues, that's way better than having the ER thing. So it's fine, but it doesn't... Yeah, the Electro Swirl is kind of tough on the Furina team. You just have to swap after Janssen onto Cloud Retainer really quickly and spam the E-cast. If you miss your skill or your burst on Janssen, then you won't get hit with the Swirl, which can massively lower DPS, which causes a bigger issue if the enemy moves, right? It's not worth the marginal DPS increase that Furina can provide. If you have a C2 Furina, it's a bit better. But the second you use the new artifact set, Furina looks like dog shit. And this is only for Codex. Because when I use Furina on my BP on my free-to-play account, I hate her. I'm hitting about 300k on my Varessa though at times with the C2 Cloud and Furina. So let's go see. The Furina with C2 Cloud and a C1 Furina. and C5 Janssen instead of C2. Let's go see if all that is worth the DPS increase. And only a Widsith on Barisa. I bet you we have almost the same level of DPS, and Barisa R1 just adds that much. I guess I don't have the team available? Here it is. We'll just use Farina here, right? C1 Farina, C2 Cloud. Are you on VV? You are not. I'm playing Barisa Overload. Would you say C2 Cloud would be better? It depends on how strong your Mavuika is. The thing about the Overload team is the Overload team is heavily reliant on C6 Chevres and also heavily reliant on how strong your Mavuika is.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
Alright, no proc Widsith right now. Let's see what we do.
But where are those who share? Memory.
Slightly better. I can get my second plunge off, right? But with a no proc Widsith. It's slightly better than the team we just had with a no proc Widsith. Alright. Try it with a proc on the Widsith. That was with the attack proc? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. Ah, man. C1 Farina, C2 Cloud. Woof. Yeah, woof. Get the percentage proc, maybe it'll be like way bigger. That's a percentage proc, 240. Yeah. Attack proc is just too bad. So weird. C2 Mavuika, C2 Chevy, C6 Chevy, C6 Janssen. Yeah, that team will be better. Like, it'll be better than C2 Cloud by a bit. So here's the C0 variation of what you're talking about. We're getting 40k Primos. What?
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
With the season mode. Here we go. So there's your C. That's a C0 Mavuika with an R1 weapon versus C2 Cloud, C1 Furina, right? As you can see, if my Mavuika was stronger, the team's going to be a lot stronger. Because the team is split damage between Mavuika and Veressa. Why the initial hit with Veressa? To apply Electro to the target and to use to fill the gauge. It also starts the cooldown up on the character. And then it allows you to get a burst on Chevrage, which will give you this bullet that you can use for an overcharged ball. And then you switch to Mavuika to apply Pyro to make sure Pyro is applied, right, in case you missed the shot on Chevrage. And then you switch to Eonson, who will then do the Nitro thing to boost damage, and then back to Mavuika to do damage with her burst. As well as then boost the final character, Veressa, with Mavuika's burst. So that gives you the maximized boosting in the maximized rotation. Right? Could you use Mavuika first on a skill? Absolutely. I find using Mavuika after Chevrez to be a bit cleaner, because if you use Mavuika's skill right before she uses her her burst, you can fail the skill at times. And it's better to particle funnel the free energy from Mavuika into Eonson in those weird situations where you didn't trigger Favonius on one of the rotations. Because Mavuika doesn't really need energy, and you might as well give free energy to Eonson versus eating the particles on Mavuika. It makes the rotations clean and kind of idiot-proof. Because you always have to skill before burst on Mavuika, it just depends on when. In a Veressa, Eonson, Shallonen team, is Cloud or Kazuha better? Kazuha is better than Cloud Retainer in the shorter term fights in like open world. Cloud Retainer is better on bosses. So if I was gonna just use it in open world setting, I would most likely use Kazuha over Cloud Retainer. If I was gonna use it for domain farming, I would use Kazuha over Cloud Retainer because it's faster. It has nothing to do with the DPS boost versus the other DPS boost. You will always come out ahead with a Cloud Retainer beating a Kazuha in the DPS boost. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter if the DPS boost for a single target is better if you're hitting 5 targets or 3 targets. It only matters on a boss. So you basically, when you're fighting bosses, you use Cloud Retainer, and when you're just in a normal situation, you'll use Kazuha. Especially if you're in a fight where you can't necessarily generate a lot of particles for Cloud Retainer. And seeing how Kazuha is pretty much the same as Furina, if you get the Freedom Sword, they're almost identical in DPS. Because if you do the math weighting on 40% elemental damage boost versus a Freedom Sword add, which is what, 15%? Is it 15% normal? 18%? I don't know. I think 60%. 16% normal attack damage. Or 16% bludgeon attack damage, sorry, right? 16% elemental damage from that, so you're giving a total of 56% elemental damage and 20% attack, along with resistance shredding. Kazuha comes out ahead of Furina. Right? Kazuha is just straight up better overall versus Furina because you get resistance shredding along with the elemental damage boost. So Furina adds complexity and is slower. And Furina also gets you killed. The problem is Kazuha kind of requires Shallonen. So you can't really use Kazuha without Shallonen. Because if you use Kazuha and Cloud Retainer, you have Cinder City issues. I actually have R2 Freedom, so I like Kazuha with her. Yeah, if you have Freedom Sword, you probably love it. If the Freedom Sword came back around and you wanted to use Kazuha Shallonen and summon for the Freedom Sword, I don't know if I would recommend it, but it's not a bad choice. On my whale account, it's my preferred team. I typically don't even use Cloud Retainer on my whale account because Kazuha's a more than fine option. C2 Cloud is kind of replaced by just Kazuha plus Freedom. It's really weird. I don't even bother with Cloud because it's not enough of a DPS increase for the time and the energy.
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway.
Makes a lot of sense, Goop.
Take part and win prizes.
So this is the damage that you pull out if you actually have Freedom at Kazuha Shilonen. One, if you've seen my my whale account on this, two if you haven't. It's kind of gross. And I did it wrong, because I didn't have enough energy for Janssen. It's usually 800k. Zircons, that's a C6 for Risa with Kazuha Freedom. No, there's no constellations being triggered on Kazuha.
Try and stop me!
So he'd be C0 with the Freedom. That. Small problem for Freedom, all right?
Every
Do you see there, if I mess that up, the damage like
has
falls
its
off
final
crazy,
day.
right?
Don't rush.
It's all in the Eons and ER and the Favonius proc. It's super weird. Like, I'm at 200% ER on Eonson, but it doesn't matter because my biggest problem on Eonson is the fight is so short, I can't get energy. So I only want one character having an energy issue on my team, and it's gonna be Eonson. So the surprising thing is, I would actually much rather have an ER Satan, or sorry, a high crit piece on Eonson. I just need extremely high crit rate pieces right now. I need attack crit rate. I might actually switch over to a crit rate headpiece on my Eonson, to be fair. Crit rate attack would be great, but I don't have a crit rate attack headpiece. Yeah, I want a different piece here. Do I have an attack percent plume with crit rate? I do not. So I need a Noblesse attack crit rate plume.
Jules from Leeway.
Yeah, you need a bunch of shit.
Take a look.
The damage went for 401k in the top. The cloud was 409k. I can definitely hit over 1 million on this. The biggest problem I have right now is I have this weird issue where I have sufficient attack on Janssen for attack transfers. My biggest issue with this is the Favonius and the energy consistency. Can you use ER Sands with Grass Cutter? Engulfing Lightning? I could use Engulfing Lightning on the character, for sure. Not really a problem with that. I'm gonna be lazy. Who is Grass Cutter? Oh, it's a joke from the first year of Genshin. The Engulfing Lightning was called a Grass Cutter.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
Can't even press a fucking button.
But where are those who share the memory?
About the same, though, no matter what I do. She's like 4K attack that way. Doesn't really matter. Is there an ER problem after this? It can be, it cannot be, it depends. But if I play Cloud with Tinder ever, I always have to switch the weapon.
Jules from Liyue. Come take a look.
Anything the Knights can do for you?
The other weapon I was thinking about using before was fine. Fine might have enough, I don't know.
Jules from Liyue. Come take a look.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
You have to have like two. You have to go with the engulfing, which has like 300% ER then. It's some crazy ER count at that point. Yeah, engulfing is
Osmanthus
like 300%, right?
wine tastes the same as I remember.
219 plus what?
But where are
Oh,
those
it's like
who
not 300,
share
sorry.
the memory?
It's how much? 269? Yeah, 270. 270 ER for no 5 strict. Heck, probably 240 that you need. Because you're on Noble Last, not on Cinder, right? So you need one.
Jules from Liyue. Come take a look.
I'd only use it for this team, and then once you get out the Cloud team, you immediately have to go to Fabsh. So, up to you.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But
Anything
where are
the Knights can do
those
for you?
who share the memory?
That team should get a better attack. She's at 3,600.
Jules
It
from
does,
Liyue.
like once you
Come
break
take
3K,
a
it doesn't
look.
matter on Yonton, right? So you could you run ER Sands if you want to and go even further beyond, right? But only EL allows you to do that, right? And then the only team composition that doesn't have ER problems is going to be this one, right? Everything else is going to have mad ER problems. I guess the Chevy team doesn't have ER problems because Mabuka doesn't have ER problems, right?
Jules from Liyue.
And the only reason my
Come
Barista
take a
doesn't have
look.
any ER problems whatsoever is because she has C2 plus, right?
Every journey
So
has its
I think
final day.
Favonius is probably just better than taking
Don't
general
rush.
if you're not spending ridiculous sums of money. All right, chat. I have a question. It's a very important one.
Jules from Liyue. Come take a look.
Anything the Knights can do for you?
Do you guys want to do account reviews tomorrow? Yes, yes, sure, yes, yes, sure, yes, yes.
Osmanthus wine
Here's what I-
tastes the
here's what I
same
gotta
as
say.
I remember.
If you guys want account reviews,
But where
from
are
Liyue.
those who
Come take a
share
look.
I
the
better see
memory?
ridiculous levels of excitement tomorrow for account reviews.
Be safe.
I better see so
Animal
much
will protect
excitement
you.
that you guys really, really want it. I want to see so much excitement that it's through the roof, and you guys can't wait for me to review you. Okay? I want to see the level of excitement of
Boats are made for
your
transferring
Verisa
commodities
account
back
when
and
when
forth.
I pulled
And
Verisa
those
on my
that come
free-to-play
across
account.
Liyue
That's
tend
the
to
level
stay
of
a
excitement I
while.
want to see.
So it is where many
So if
taste
you don't know
their
exactly how much,
Come
I
take a
will
look.
show you exactly how much in a very short fashion. This should be your face.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
That's not it. That's the weapon tier list for Verisa. That's not it. That's the weapon tier list for Verisa. No shot! Okay, this is your face.
Jules from Liyue. Come take a look.
Oh my god, I got an account review. That's the level of excitement. All right? That's what I want to see from you tomorrow in chat. The level
Anything
of
the Knights can do for
excitement
you?
and the level of bewilderment. The level of holy fuck. I want to see you bring that shit. tomorrow for account reviews. If you want account reviews, that's the level of hype you gotta bring.
Jules from
Okay.
Liyue, come take a look.
Can you do that, chat? Tomorrow, can you do that? I
Osmanthus
believe in you.
wine
If you
tastes
want
the
account
same
reviews,
as
do
I
that shit.
remember.
Tomorrow.
But where are
need
those
to see
who
it.
share the memory?
What are you looking for these reviews? Exactly. Exactly. Also, I have one more thing to tell you. Bye.
Jules from Liyue, come take a look.
Anything the Knights can do for you?
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Jules from Liyue, come take a look.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
Anything the Knights can do for you?
Jules from Liyue, come take a look.
Osef complète tout ça.
Jules from
Ok, ça peut être bien si c'est crit. Ouais, non.
Every journey has its final
On
day.
fera jamais rien.
Don't rush.
Pareil, ça peut être bien si ça finit en crit.
Osmanthus wine tastes
Mais
the
pourquoi
same
pas le
as I
garder pour un
remember.
perso qui scale def au cas où.
But where are those who share the memory?
Jules from Liyue, come take a look.
Anything the Knights can do for you?
Un coup de pyro à la forêt tout à l'heure. Un problème avec la def, je crois que c'est pas que lui. Hein. Je crois qu'on est un peu tous unanimes avec ce problème. Hein. Version améliorée de celle qui avait de la def.
Jules from Liyue, come take a look.
Boats are made for transferring commodities
Propre
back
aussi,
and
ça, hein.
forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while.
Jules from Liyue,
So it is where
come
many
take a
things
look.
come to settle.
28 DC, très joli. Super item. Mais ça va, là, au fur et à mesure, il y a la box qui se remplit d'items intéressants. Masque HP, il y en aura rien. Non, alors le PV flat rend l'item pas intéressant.
Jules from Liyue, come take a look.
Aucun des deux, Trix. Je conseille de prendre les personnages que la personne veut.
Osmanthus
Peu importe le
wine
personnage. Si
tastes
elle
the
veut deux
same as I
personnages, prendre
remember.
celui qu'elle veut le plus.
But where are those who share the memory?
Sachant que je ne sais même pas ce que fait Scoffy. Mais ça ne changera rien au conseil. Même si t'appuies sur un bouton et ça tue tous les mobs dans un rayon de 100 km. Je dirais la même chose. Ah non, c'est pas mon compte. C'est le compte de Fufu. Bon, ces plumes-là... Dur de les rendre intéressantes. On est sur un set où globalement bah, c'est juste pour que ce soit un upset. Tout passe dans le crit. Ok. Rien qui passe.
Same as
Jules
I...
from Liyue.
Ça peut être bien en vrai. Ouais. Elle est pas mal. Silo fonctionne bien dans une team Rio, la Mian sur Lingway. Fonctionne bien dans beaucoup d'équipes. Elle a plus d'équipes qui marchent que d'équipes qui marchent pas. Ça Osef. Dommage. Flop total. Et re-Arcanios, comme tout à l'heure. Ouais, bien sûr, Shiga. Ouais, parchemin. Quoi qu'il arrive, faut la laisser en parchemin globalement. Il y a trop peu d'exceptions pour lui mettre autre chose. Ça t'a beaucoup mis en cryo. Full attaque. Bonne fleur. Ça c'est jetable. Ok, solide aussi. 15 to crit, 13 dégâts crit, excellent. Très bien, très bien. On récupère des artés, mais... pour qui, on sait pas.
But where are those who share the memory?
Comme par hasard, ça se passe bien que quand ça nous sert à rien. Ça servira jamais. Ça non plus. Ok, si ça finit en crit, ça pourrait être joli. Et ça finit en... et appuie sur le max. Une recharge, ouais. Item est un peu oubliable déjà. Bah, rien de spécial la coupe Hydro. Enfin, ouais, autant garder, c'est une coupe. Il y a d'autres choses à jeter en priorité.